Okay, so we're going to get going with the second half of the day, and we have a little treat for you in a while that not many of you, in fact I think one of you, discovered at lunchtime that nobody else in the room knows about. So Richard, no, it's nothing to do with that. No. We've got a little treat for you, but we also have a real treat for you coming up next. We've got a guy who I have got to know very well over the last nearly 8 years. We've known each other a little bit longer than that, but probably about 9 years now. We've worked very, very closely together. I think Sylvia made a reference to Brokeback Mountain earlier on when we were talking. We're not quite in each other's pockets, but we do know each other very well. And they say you should go and find people in this business who are better than you and help them to be the best version of themselves. Well, he's definitely one of those people that I found, because he's phenomenal at this business. He can teach all of us in this room to build awesome businesses if we listen to what he's got to share. He's going to play a little interesting exercise with you. So I'll introduce him now as my great friend, Juswant Rai.
Thank you, sir. As always, I was wondering who he was talking about, then I realised it was actually me. Good afternoon. It is going to be a phenomenal afternoon, and we do have a treat for you this afternoon. You will find out in a minute. But a little bit about me, and who am I, where have I come from, what have I done in this business. Sylvia's a bit confused already. So, I was Mr. 9 to 5. I was set. I had my career. I had my IT job. I was very happy in my IT job, and I've been doing that for years and years and years. And my last job, I think I mentioned it earlier on, I've been there for about 12 years. So I was set. I knew everything that was going on. Every morning I got up, walked to the station, got on the train, got off the train, walked to the office, did my day's work and did the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I was very, very happy. I had a really good career in IT. I had a great boss who was also probably my best friend, because we got on really well. And it was just a nice set routine. And you know when everything's nice and set and everything's settled, and you think, life is easy, I can just keep doing what I'm doing. Something comes along and kicks you really, really hard. Anybody ever had that happen to you? Yeah? I had that happen to me. This lady appeared in my life, and we have two stories of how we met. There's my version where I actually look quite good, and then there's Sylvia's version where I look like a complete muppet. I prefer to believe my version, of course. She upset the apple cart because she gave me a book to read. Anybody heard of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki? Yeah? Sylvia gave me that book to read as a test. And I didn't realise it was a test, but she gave it to me to read as a test. So I thought, okay, yeah, I took the book home, purple book, weird. So I took it home, started reading it, and I could not put it down. I was supposed to see Sylvia 3 days later, and I read it all the way through, and that's all I could talk about when I went back to see her the next time, and I was just like, all about Robert Kiyosaki and how fantastic it was and how amazing it was. And then I went back to work, and then I was thinking, hold on, what's wrong with my life now? Because everything that I believed up to that point about where I was going to go was suddenly not where I wanted to go. My nice safe career, my nice safe job, my nice safe life, it was just suddenly all just like, is that what I want? Am I happy with what I've got? And I just started questioning everything, and I started asking things, and I started asking things of my boss and my job. And I would say to them, can I do something? They go, no. Well, what about that? No, you can't. What about this? No. I want to go to Brazil in 6 months. Can I take 10 days annual leave for a charity? No. Can I go 4 days a week? I've been working here 12 years. I know how to do my job in my sleep. Can I do 4 days a week? No. What can I do? You can turn up Monday to Friday, arrive at 9, leave at 5, do as you're told, and do 48 weeks a year. And that was it, basically. That was my option. And I was thinking, that's crap. Isn't it? Because we talk to people about the opportunity in utility warehouse, and we say to them, come and join us, and we'll show you how to build a business that gives you residual income that will keep you paying you for years and years and years. Whereas I went to school and they sold me this other opportunity. The opportunity to go and get a job, turn up on Monday at 9 o'clock, go home about 5 o'clock, do that 5 days a week, do it for 40 years, or 50 years at the moment, because what's retirement age?
103.
103. All the police officers in the room, raise your hands, please. Yes, your retirement age is 103. But does that sound like a fantastic opportunity for 40, 50 years? We all sold it. We're all told it's the norm. We're all told this is what we have to do. And millions and millions and millions of people do that. And I was quite happy with that. Very settled in my job. But I got a phone call from Stuart Ritchie. And it was interesting because he phoned me up and he said, "Hi Juswant, it's Stuart. Have you got a minute? It's just a quick call." I went, "Yeah." He goes, "Can you do me a favour and watch this video?" Okay, yeah, sure. He says, "I'll email it over to you. Have a look at it and I'll give you a call later on." Yeah, I can do that. He sent me the link to the video and I thought, oh yeah, I've seen this before. It's the Purple Pig. It's a utility warehouse. I know this. And he said, "All right, so what do you want to do?" I said, "I don't want to do it really. It's not for me." He said, "Well, do you want to think about it?" I said, "Yeah, I'll have a think about it." So he goes, "How long do you need to think about it?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "What about a week?" I said, "Okay, I'll call me in a week." He said, "Do you want to do it?" I said, "No." And I think he called me about 4 times, and 4 times I said no. And on the 4th time of him calling me, I thought, you know what, he's a bit persistent. And I know Stuart wouldn't do anything if it wasn't going to make some serious amount of money. And I thought, okay, I'll have a look at it. So I joined on a whim, just for the hell of it. I thought, what's to lose? It's £200 to get started in a business, when most people spend 20, 30, 40, £100,000 to start a business. No risk. Because what was the risk to me? What was my maximum downside?
Lose £100.
Lose my joining fee, which was £199.75 back then. That was my maximum downside from utility warehouse. And I decided to give it a go. And Stuart will tell you, I was phenomenal in this business when I started. No need to laugh like that. It took me 6 months to get 6 customers. So 1 a month. They were having parties at head office every time I signed a customer. But that's what I was doing, and I didn't get this business. I did not get this business at all. I didn't understand it, didn't get it. And then in January 2008, Stuart phoned me up, and I'd just come back from holiday, and I just landed the day before, and he rang me up in the morning. He says, "There's an event, kick-off event coming up. Come along." And I went, "Bournemouth? Nah, I can't be bothered." He said, no, come along, it'll be worth it." So I had a chat with Sylvia, and Sylvia goes, "Yeah, you might as well go. Go down to Bournemouth, meet Stuart, see what's going on." So I went off to one of those events, one of those utility warehouse events. And it was my first kick-off event. And I sat there all day listening to loads and loads of people telling their stories. And there was all the usual suspects there. You know the ones that talk a lot. The ones with lots of charisma, the ones with lots of oomph. And you think, well, it's all right for you, you're a gobshite. It's true, isn't it? It is. You sit there and think that, don't you? Don't lie, I know you do. You think, it's all right for you. But the person that really made me think I could do this business was a lady who went up on stage and she had a microphone and she went like this. And she was like this, and the microphone was shaking. And I was going, and she was a team leader, and I thought, my God, if she can get to team leader.
You had hair then?
I was literally going, if she can get to team leader, why can't I? Why can't I get to team leader? What's wrong with me? Before anybody answers, Just put them on a postcard and give them to Sylvia, because she's got an even longer list than me. But I realised I had to go back to basics. I had to forget everything that I ever learned, all that stuff about me being a high-powered IT manager, working in the industry. I knew nothing about utility warehouse or the industry of utility warehouse. I knew nothing about network marketing. I knew nothing about any of this. And I had to take my ego and kick it into touch and say, right, all that stuff that I think I know, I don't know. All that things that I think I'm going to do, I'm not going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to training on a regular basis. I'm going to learn how the successful people are doing it, and I'm just going to copy them. How's that for a plan? Yeah? And that's what I started doing. I just went back and I learned the basics, and I went back again and again and again. And in the next 12 months, I went training once a month. I went to Express Day, went to MAD, went to everything I could. I went to COPS, the lot. I basically just threw myself into the utility warehouse business, and I said, right, I'm going to learn how to do this properly. Remember, I had a full-time job at that point. I was doing 60 hours a week. So it wasn't as if I had loads of time to do this. I was giving up days off from work, and I was giving up my weekends. And that was 7.5 years ago, 7 years ago. And one of the things I picked up was, in order for me to succeed in this business, the Muppet that joined wasn't the one that's going to get it to the end, to national network leader, to the top. And I knew I needed to learn some skills. And I knew I had to apply some stuff that I knew nothing about. I thought I knew stuff, but I didn't. And I had to learn how to become a leader. The company's been very specific about how it chose those titles, how it's picked those, how to become a leader. And I'll give you a tip. Just because somebody's got to one of those levels doesn't mean they're a leader. You can stumble into team leader, accidentally. Actually, I think I did. And I sort of stumbled into team leader. Because I have no idea. If somebody asked me right now how I got to team leader and senior team leader, I have no idea. I don't. I just followed the system. I just blindly followed the system. I gathered customers, brought in distributors, gathered more customers, brought in more distributors. But my goal was always to have more team members than I had personal customers. I know that's going to freak some people out, but I always wanted to have more team members than I had personal customers. And that was always my goal. And I just thought, right, I've got to learn how to be a leader. I've got to copy the leaders in this business. I've got to follow what they do, learn what they do, and just repeat it. All that clever stuff that people hear from me when they phone me up for advice, I've got it from Stuart, I've got it from Gary Whittaker, I've got it from Jimmy, got it from Steve Critchley, got it from Wes Linden, got it from Robin Brooks, got it from all those guys. Just stored it up here, and when somebody asks me a question, just get the answer from them. So I went and hang around with those guys. But anybody heard of Google? Yeah, Lord Google? I Googled, what's the perfect formula for success? What's the perfect formula for becoming a leader? And I found this fantastic article. It explains it all in one go. And I'm going to show it to you now. You've got to have your pens and paper ready, right? Are you ready? I'm going to show it to you now. Be ready, because it's going to be phenomenal. It will blow your mind, and you will think it can't be that easy. Ready? Got your pens and paper ready? Off you go. Everybody got that? Was that easy? Do you want to see it again? There you go. Job done. Because that's what leadership is about. Working your way through the maze and coming out the other side. But do we have any leaders in the room?
Yes.
Does anybody show me by show of hands, do we have any leaders in the room? This lady was first. And Tony was second, if you want to come up. Carol's going, what have I just volunteered for? What have you done? You're a leader. You're not, it doesn't matter. We're all in the same team. We're all in the same team, which is fantastic. So you can stand here, facing this way. Facing this way. Thank you. Carol, if you could stand here, facing here. Now, in order to be a leader, what do you need? Followers. Do we have any potential leaders in the room? Raoul? Young lady there? I need some more potential leaders in the room. You're telling me there's nobody else that's a leader? Off you go. If you all want to stand behind Carol, please. Stand behind Carol. Caroline. Any more potential leaders in the room? Off you go, Carl. Any more? You're telling me you guys are shy? Fazana, fantastic. Excellent. Okay. Now sometimes, are you joining us? There you go, you can stand behind him. This side, this side. Fazana, if you actually want to come this side. Yeah. Now sometimes, you don't have to be invited to be a leader. You have to step up. Is there anybody who wants to step up and be a leader without being invited? All right, that's enough, that's enough. That's enough.
He doesn't want me.
Sorry, we only need 5 people. And this is perfect, actually. This is actually thank you, ladies. Give them a round of applause for coming up. There was a split second where some of you thought about coming up, right? Some of you thought you were a leader. Some of you thought you should come up. Why didn't you? Yes. Apart from Alex, because you'll be somewhere, just like Jonathan was earlier. Where's Jonathan? Jonathan left. Yeah, Jonathan's had to go because he's got to go see his kids. But Jonathan sees an opportunity, and there's that split second where he has to make a decision. That split second where he decides to talk to that person and get their phone number, or is that split second where he decides he's not going to talk to that person and not get their number. That moment you hesitate, how much is that costing you? That moment's hesitation is costing you everything that you are looking for. Because if you believe you can't, every single time you believe you can't, you're absolutely right. And every time you believe you can, you are absolutely right. Some of those people up there believe they can, and none of them believe they can't. These are potential future leaders of Utility Warehouse. Why aren't you up there? Why didn't you come up? Now they're going to find out what they let themselves in for. And I'm going to ask the lovely Sylvia to join me, and she's going to have a microphone, so this could get interesting. If you want to join us, Sylvia?
Bring the other bits as well.
Yes, please. Because part of being a leader is having a team and asking them to follow you. So, does anybody know what these are for? Any idea? Yes, please. Tony, you were keen to come up on stage. Has anybody ever been asked to do something in this business and they thought... Anybody been ever asked to do something in this business and they wish they hadn't? Now, because Sylvia's now joined us, and that side is Team Sylvia.
Guys, that was just the warm-up.
Guys, are you
Let's
gonna
see
let-
what they're like. Let's just see
Hold
what
on,
they're
hold on,
like.
hold on. And this is Team Juswant.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this side of the room, do we really, really want to make some noise? Do we?
Come on, everybody, let's get up. Let's show nice dog.
All right.
By the way, there's a wait going on downstairs. And do you guys know how this game is played? Okay. You've got to pass the grapefruit from you to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. You are not allowed to use your hands. Okay? So you've got to pass it from one person to the other without using your hands.
Or arms.
And,
Or arms. Or arms.
Enoch's going, what? Right, and you get it to the last person, and the first person to come back to the middle with the grapefruit, not using their hands, is the winning team.
Okay.
Okay? Now, Do you think sometimes when your team is up for a challenge, they need some support? Yes. Do you think they need some energy from the room? Yes. Okay, so the team, the supporters that make the loudest noise will have the winning team.
It's true.
Yes?
Guys, you've got to make some noise for him. You're
Just ignore her.
supporting these guys.
Right, everybody's going out on this side, we're going to have the winning team.
Come on, Ralph.
You ready, guys?
You ready?
Right.
Put the grapefruit on your chin. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Brokeback Mountain earlier. I think we have a
Can I borrow that? Can everybody apart from the leading team, the leaders, please go sit down? So if you guys go and sit down, if you guys go and sit down. Yeah? No, I'm kicking them. Now, who's wishing they had volunteered? You're going to have to volunteer in this business. You're going to have to do some stuff that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Now, do you think these two guys deserve a prize? Yes. There you go. Give a round of applause for the team. Have a seat. One of the reasons we build a team, is it more fun when you've got a team? Yes. Is it more fun when people are cheering you on? Yeah? Part of being a leader is starting that first movement. Being the first one to get up on stage, not knowing exactly what you've got to go and do, right? But being the first person up here, saying, I am going to be a leader. I am going to follow this. I don't care what it is. I'm going to go and do it. When I joined Utility Warehouse, I was told, if I go and do X, Y, and Z, this is what will happen. If you go and gather customers, if you go and build a team, this is what's going to happen. And everything I was told that would happen, did happen. Head office, Charles, Andrew, have delivered on every single promise they have made. They've never let us down. Go and gather X number of customers, you will go on holiday. Go and get so many customers, you go and get a mini. Go and do this, you become team leader. Go and do that, you can become senior team leader. Go and do some more, you become group leader. Go and do some more work, you become senior group leader. The company have done all the hard work. We've actually got the easy bit, which is go and talk to people. And you showed at the start of today, when I said go and find somebody that you don't know and go and speak to them, that you're all more than capable of doing that. Don't look shocked, you sure were. Remember at the start of the day, when you spoke to some people? There was a point to that game, don't worry, it wasn't just a bit of fun. But people can work together. People who don't know each other, they can collaborate, they can support each other, they can help each other. And you can become a leader whether you want to or not. Carol and Tony chose to come up here. Any one of you guys got to come up here. When I asked for some volunteers, some people came up, then some people came up without being asked. You all had a choice. You had that split second when you decided whether you were a leader or not. You had that split second where you're going to decide whether you're going to build this business or not. And is it just a split second's difference in thinking that will make a huge difference? For me, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And any time you introduce this opportunity to someone, any time you introduce the customer proposition to someone, you are being a leader. And you've got to choose. few years ago, I went on my dream trip to Bali. And my goal was to go to Bali for a long, long time. And I always wanted to go. But I always wanted to go in December. Because every year when I was working in December, the run-up to Christmas, all that stuff going on, you know, I thought, you know what, instead of me going to all those endless parties and all this Christmas, having 15 Christmas lunches and all this other rubbish that goes on, I want to be sitting on a beach, under my own terms, staring out to the sea. That was at sunrise in the morning, looking out and thinking, you know what, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, because I built this business. Because I helped other people get started in this business. Because I helped support other people in this business. Because I answered their questions, because I was there for them. The ones that want to work, I worked with them. The ones who want to get on with it, I got on with them. And to be there, sat there, and just looking out at the sea, that morning, watching the sunrise, and thinking, you know what, it doesn't get much better than this. And every single month, some of you might be my friends on Facebook, I put up a picture saying Happy Residual Income Day. Because every single month, this business pays for everything in residual income. Pays all my outgoings, pays all my bills, and life is great. Life can be great for every single one of you guys. You just have to choose for it to be great. It's been a real pleasure speaking in front of you, and I look forward to seeing you again.